time he entered economic activities, and he created some wealth. And I told him to put that job aside and join the government, and he did so. But many of your cabinet ministers, did they join you empty-handed? They got lots of concessions, benefiting from the dollar-real parity rate, and they created great wealth. There is a long list. I don't want to give names here. You say that they created great wealth. What are Mr. Hashemi's sons doing in the country? Which one of my ministers during their time in office possessed any mansions and created wealth, generated wealth for themselves? I have a list of the land that officials got: 40 hectares, 50, 80 hectares, 400 hectares, plots of land. This happened during the transfer ownership that started before this government. Who possessed all these? Those who are supporting you now. The great cost of your propaganda, your campaign, where does it come from? I respect you, Mr. Mussawi, but where does all that money come from? One from Rasht Electric Industries, without any bidding, they gave it to Mr. Karwazchi's wife's relatives. Everything went to them, and tens of such cases. 400 hectares in Hormuzgan province, and people have problems on 2 hectares to create employment for the youth. And this is called lawlessness, Mr. Mussawi. Stud oil is called lawlessness. The person comes here, he's accused, convicted, and then he flees from prison, and he's outside of Iran. And Mr. Hashemi's son has been after this. Lawlessness is seen in the sons of some of these people who are supporting you today. What about Mr. Natov's son? How did he come to millions of dollars? How did they become rich? That is called evading the law and not abiding by the law. And in this government, we never accepted, we never said we don't accept law. You can mention one single case. I have only one more statement to make. I have a dose here from a lady. Here, you know the lady. In your campaign, she sits next to you, which is against all the regulations. She studied 2 master's degrees, one in Azad University. She got PhD without attending the university entrance exam. And then she's now an assistant professor without having qualification. She's now heading the faculty. This is lawlessness. This is what I'm opposed to. Runs and concessions going to some people and depriving others of all this. I am law-abiding. My government abides by the law more than anyone else. And the last point to make is I did not mention statistical figures. When the economy is hurt, the best economic situation belongs to this time. Referring to yours is compared to your time, it's excellent. And we have detailed reports and we have the statistical figures all here. But my question for you is, the late Imam annulled and canceled the admission committees. He annulled them all in your government, not ours. One of your relatives, I was working with them during the university admission committee. There was a file that was here from a lady. They asked her a certain question. If she answered that question, they said, well, she has been very good. So she's gone. I have seen all this. The rights of people being trampled upon. The 8-point directive was issued for your government, not for my government.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmedinejad. Your time is up. Mr. Mussawi, please. You have approximately 12 minutes.
Well, he spoke about different matters.
Tell me the accurate, the precise time. This is your conclusion.
He speaks about specific issues, and I don't know how can we really give answer to his remarks. One of the problems in discussing with him is that these talks are abnormal. You know, he says write a letter to Tribunal Administrative. You do not take my time, please. You know, your morale, you know, and we know that who are in Raja News and here how they behave. Well, this is my time. So you said write something to the administrative tribunal. Is it a way to just face the parliament or treat the expediency council where the elders are sitting and the senior politicians are there and the legitimacy comes from the leader? Can we really rule the country in this way? This is the main problem I have with you. You know, in evident issues we behave in a manner and we speak in a manner that instead of just accepting the mistakes and saying that okay, we want to correct something, so instead of that, you know, you don't do this. I didn't say that you are a dictator, but this leads to dictatorship. Definitely it leads to dictatorship, because you just give priority to your own vote compared to the parliament and to the expediency council. And you are talking about mentioning the names. I think it is below the dignity of the head of the government to mention the names of those who, you know, who have not been condemned in the judiciary. It is a crime to mention them without giving the just time to defend themselves. You are attacking some people who are not present here, and then you just intermingle them with my faith, and you didn't have anything against me, and therefore you connect me to the previous two terms, to governments. So without deciding to defend them, it's really their right to be angry against you, and the people will not accept this from you. Don't you know that what Mr. Hashemi or Mr. Khatami have done in this country? They have been president, but you as a citizen at least should give right to them when they cannot defend themselves in at least in a 50 million scene where the people are watching. You are mentioning the name of his family members, his sons and so on. You know, this reason that of the judiciary, I'm telling you, and the judiciary means someone is condemned. That is the others are just acquitted. It is an Islamic principle. From the beginning of your term, you said that there are thousands of corrupt people, and I'm going to mention their name, and you removed the head of the Parsian bank and then appointed him as your advisor. These are sins. We are Muslims. We are faithful. We believe in God. So we cannot just out of blue mention the name of the people and accuse them. Regarding the delegation or transferring of the hectares of the lands to others, if they have done so, it is wrong. It has got nothing to do with me. Why you say that the people support me? I have said every citizen is headquarters. You know, contrary to those who are using the government offices, the government facilities, the interior ministry, the television, they are using for themselves. You know, we have a very clean headquarters, and there is no even a single word against it. We have very clean people and very faithful people. If they were there, I know that you would name them, but they are not there. They are clean people. And it's open. Anybody who wants to support me, let them support. There is no problem to oppose them. I welcome the entire nation to support me so that I get the vote, so that I bring about the change. This is my intention, and I announce it right now. If I'm addressing the people, if you want to change this situation so that others do not accuse others, you know, in front of me, he is just showing the photo of my wife, saying that she has done so and so. She is one of the intellectual women of the country. She has worked for 10 years for her PhD in political science, and we have all the documents, and the sites related to you have created some wrong atmosphere against her. She is one of the researchers of Quranic studies. One of her honors is that she has MA or MS in art, and also she is MA and PhD in political science.